Yo, what's up guys? Nash here coming at you with a brand new video, and today we're uncovering my first store and why it was so bad. So I get a lot of you guys that message me on Instagram, which is awesome. Love, commenting back to you guys and helping you guys out. But a lot of you guys are asking, hey, I'm on my first store. I built it like 2 days ago and I ran an ad and it's not making any sales. Like, what's the deal? So I just wanted to let you guys know that I actually had like 3, maybe 4 stores live before I actually made any sales. Well, I think I made like 2 sales, but it wasn't really anything worthwhile. So I want to go over what my mistakes were in those stores and how you can kind of avoid the mistakes that I made so you can actually start making some money off of the advertisements that you run in your store. So I wish I had the store that I could show you guys. I so wish, but I shut it down because I didn't want to pay 29 bucks a month. But this is actually the Facebook page for it. As you can see, there's like literally nothing on it. But I had some super dope designs. Okay, so I had like this shoot film. It was called Set Swag. It was for filmmakers. It was kind of like apparel for filmmakers, so it was print on demand stuff. But I had these like really cool designs, like shoot film. I actually have some of them here, like this one or this one. This is my favorite. We accept major credit cards, Discover, Visa, Apple Pay, but we don't expect it, or we don't accept exposure. Well, look at it there, my exposure ain't worth shit. So this is, this sort of vibes with filmmakers because I don't know if any of you guys can relate, but a lot of times people ask you to do work for free for exposure or for credit, which a lot of people don't like doing. So, this kind of vibes with it. And then, shot list, which if you don't know what a shot list is, basically it's like the camera angles that you want. But this was sort of a funny take on it. So anyway, so those were shirts that I thought were like sick. Like, dude, I would wear those. But obviously they didn't work, and I'm going to tell you why. So mistakes that killed my first store. The first one is that it's sort of the build it and they will come mentality. Okay, so I had the mentality that if I built like a really dope store with really dope designs that I liked, then people will come because, it's cool. But that's simply not the case. Like, I expected traffic to come to me, but they don't. Like, you literally have to advertise to people that actually want the thing that you have. And the best way to do that is by actually finding products that are kind of proven to sell, that people like. I thought if I built it, they'll come, but that's not the case. So the second mistake that I had was, sorry, I'm looking at my notes here, is that I had no audience research. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Essentially, I thought, because I was in the filmmaking industry at the time, this was back in like July, I was making movies, like feature films that were in theaters. And I was constantly around people that were on that. And I just thought that there was a lot of people that are interested in that. It turns out that there's not as many people as I thought that are necessarily interested in that. So it's pretty interesting. I didn't do any audience research. I didn't see if there's people actually buying this stuff. And looking back, I actually researched it recently. There's really like not a huge audience for people that want to buy these like set shirts or whatever. There's definitely a few, but it's hard to make a scalable business because there's only a few, right? So I did no audience research. Number 3 is that I didn't find hot products. Okay, so this kind of goes in with the whole no audience research thing. Is I didn't find hot products. Generally, if I'm doing a print-on-demand store now, which I talked about in a previous video, I'll go ahead and find products that are sort of hot, designs that are hot, sayings that are hot, and then I'll sort of design based off of that. But what I was doing is making my own designs that I thought were funny, that were cool, whatever. But they had no track record of being able to be sold. And because I didn't know what I was doing at the time, it's very difficult to sell a product like that. So I didn't find hot products. And if you're doing drop shipping, obviously this would be like finding hot products that are currently selling right now on AliExpress, which I can show you how to do real quick. So I'll just go to AliExpress. So let's take, for example, this rose. I have no idea why this just popped up because I don't remember ever looking at it, but so it has 1,029 orders. Seems like a lot, right? But when you scroll down, you can actually go to, so this area where the transaction history, you can see they sold one today, February 5th. I'm filming in advance. 1, 2, 3, whatever on February 2nd, a few on January 1st. Like, it's not really selling right now. So yeah, it has a lot of orders, but it's not selling right now. So you want to find products that I would say at least have an entire page filled with one day. Ideally, maybe like 2 to 3 or more, because that means it's selling right now. So if you haven't found a hot product, definitely keep looking. Don't try to keep marketing the same thing that's not working, because you're just going to end up wasting money, and it's not a good situation. So definitely go ahead and find some hot products. Number 4 is I didn't know Facebook marketing, okay? Because I was marketing this all on Facebook and literally had no idea what I was doing. So I I watched a few YouTube videos and I was like, sweet, this should probably be easy. So I did this targeting, and I think the targeting ended up being like 15,000 people in it. So it was like super small, which goes back to the audience research part. But yeah, so I didn't know the marketing, so I was marketing to these 15,000 people. Nothing was hitting. I ended up spending like $200 because, again, I didn't know what I was doing. But I was like determined to make it work. I was like, yeah, I just need to spend more money and eventually it'll hit. That's not the case. If it doesn't work, and cut it. So yeah, if you don't know Facebook marketing, definitely start out with Instagram if you can. Not every niche, like the niche that I was in didn't have any Instagram influencers, so I just switched it up, did something different. But yeah, if you don't know Facebook marketing, I would suggest not starting with that, especially if you don't have much of a budget, because it's very hard to make back your ROI fast on Facebook. Eventually, yeah, you can, and much more, but initially it's very difficult to make back your ROI. So yeah, so that's why. And number 5 is I had no email marketing. Okay, so actually for this website, for the SetSwag one, I didn't even attempt email marketing. Like, I don't even think I had a form on there. But then another one I did, it was called like Fight Back for Elephants. I sold like these elephant trinket necklaces and like random stuff. But yeah, so I had some email marketing on there, and I was sending traffic, and people were like signing up to the email list. I had like 120, 150 people on the email list, but I literally never did anything with it. And it's so embarrassing because like I had that many people on the list, but I literally did nothing with them. I didn't send any follow-up emails, like nothing. So if I were to do like email marketing again today, I would do like what I showed you in a few videos back with the email marketing series, is I would send them a follow-up series. Okay? If you don't have a follow-up series in place, you're leaving so much money on the table, and I didn't realize that when I first started that store. So find that hot product, and once you do, make sure you get that email sequence in place, because it literally accounts for, at least in my case, it accounts for about 30% of my business. So if you don't have that, then it just makes it very difficult to go ahead and actually start making some sales. So yeah, so basically make sure that you do your audience research, find a hot product, know what your marketing is and know it well. If you have to buy a course, great. If you have to look for hours on YouTube, fine, that's great. Whatever you have to do to learn how to do this stuff, go ahead and learn how to do it before you get started, so you don't waste money. And then lastly, have that email follow-up series and actually build it out to be good. Actually, guys, I have one more that I thought about here, and that's time management. I spent so much time just like fixing logos, fixing the website, making it look perfect, doing like awesome t-shirt designs, at least that I thought were awesome. I spent so much time, like maybe 2 weeks setting up this store, which, I mean, it's just a lot of time. There's sometimes where I set stores up within a few hours nowadays. So what I would recommend doing is get that store up as quickly as possible, get those designs, get the products, if you're doing drop shipping, whatever it is, up as fast as you possibly can, so you can start testing with ads and ad copies and different audiences and all that stuff, so you can eventually find what works. So then instead of spending 2 weeks doing the store, you spend maybe like 2 days doing the store, and then that extra 12 days marketing, and you already made back your ROI and know what works. So it's just about speed of implementation. Make sure you figure out what's an important necessary factor and what's an unnecessary but like sort of important, but you can put it on the back burner type of factor for your website, and kind of list those out. So guys, hopefully you learned a lot from my mistakes from my first stores, and there are things that I learned from, but hopefully you can learn from them without having to spend the money. At least that's the point of this video. So if you liked it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below, as well as the notification bell to be notified as soon as we drop the next video. Also, if you like the video, go ahead and leave me a like. Smash that like button, why don't you? And then, leave me a comment of what you want to see in future videos, and we'll be sure to make it. Also, we're almost at 2K. Actually, we might be at 2K right now. I don't know. I'm filming this in advance. But thank you guys so much for everything that you've done. Thank you for supporting the channel. Really do appreciate you guys so much. So thank you, and I will see you guys in the next video.
I need you in the morning. Ooh, ooh.